How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the top skins this week, and we've got a lot of disco stuff that's still rolled over into this one, so let's go ahead and check them out. This very first one we've got here is actually something that you wouldn't expect. It's actually a burlap head wrap, and that's how they did like the chains. The chain's the bottom of the burlap head wrap, and then the top of it is the crazy silver wig, and yeah, it's just absolutely disco and hilarious. Next, if you ever want to be the disco ball, well, here's the first step with this balaclava right here. And yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, there's not much else to say about it. It makes your head a disco ball. Very shifty looking disco ball. Next up, we've got a burlap set, and this is the Thriller Dancer set. Name might need a change just for the fact of, you know, it's still the Thriller song. Kind of belongs to, you know, Michael Jackson and all that, and well, whoever that belongs to now. I know the rights were all weird for that, but that's not what this video is about. Anyways, one way or another, it's themed after the costume in that game, and with all the dancing and stuff, it kind of makes sense. With the name change, it could easily be used. It's generic enough looking, and definitely quite cool burlap. Next, we've got a hoodie and pants for you, and these are the Tech Runner set. And yeah, there you go. It's kind of got more of a high-end look to it. You even got this like G-Tech written there on it. And yeah, it's got all sorts of pads and different materials, so forth around it. There's even a shirt here that has some kind of pill going on. On the back, we've got a little cube, G-Tech again, and yeah, it's definitely very bright. But for that kind of Chad that says, I don't care if anyone sees me, come at me. Next up, we've got the Battlefield Doctors hoodie and pants by Raven, and yeah, it's a definitely really nicely detailed set. Looks kind of like nurses or doctors' scrubs, and then you've got quite a bit of blood. There's a stim pack connected here to the side, and back here you've got another pouch. There's a little stim pack sticking out. We've got some gloves and everything. A lot of details really put into this. Stethoscope around the neck looks even well done, and that's hard to do with, you know, the flat space that they're given. And definitely a nice little addition to the, you know, theme of, hey, the new Wounded States. Yeah, I can see someone running around with the sole purpose of their existence in the clan to wear the set and stab people with syringes when they get wounded. Next up, we've got the Dancer set by Firefly, and this one has all sorts of bright colors, but man, is it tattered and torn apart. Definitely looks like something found here in Rust, but they're still ready to go out to the club. They cobbled it together, and they are ready to do some awesome dancing. Definitely lots of bright colors here, and different combo than from what you usually see. Just the other week, we saw the Shark cosplay hoodie and pants, so now we've got some road sign gloves and boots. So yeah, you can see they still have that same kind of wet drip effect on there where it looks like the droplets, so you've got that same little shark logo going on there. They're both pretty much the same, and then you've got kind of like some teeth sticking out right there, which I thought was nice. And then down here, you've got a silly shark face with those teeth and some red laces to match along with it, and water droplets, of course. And lastly, we've got the Whiteout boots. So yeah, hopefully you can complete the set if these make it in, because I know a lot of people have been wanting to. It's one of those things where a popular set has to be complete or else the population is not happy, right, community? So maybe Hulk will put these in this next week. We'll just have to see. But there you have it. That would be a completion to the clothing, I believe. Alright, next up we've got our deployables, and we got this really cool furnace this week. This is the Cursed Furnace by Dukes. And yeah, it just has this really awesome look to it. It really looks like it's made out of some kind of like ancient dungeon stone. And there's this nasty dripping coming out of it and pieces of bone. The whole thing is absolutely cool looking. When you turn on, the slime kind of lights up a bit. And there you can see that. Of course, you can see this much better at night, which we'll be sure to show you here shortly. Next, we've got ourselves a box, and my precious loot. It's got a little rainbow and everything. It's like you almost feel bad breaking into it if you had to. This is the rainbow storage box, and yeah, I mean, look at that. Hearts and love and everything. It's like, oh, this means so much to them. I would definitely fill this with like horse poop or something and put a lock on it just so the raiders get a little treat. But hey, you know, that's Rust. Next, over here, we've got a labeled box for you, and it is a continuation with the rated set, and yeah, just that combination of the label and everything looks really good. We've got guns on there, on there, Looks like it has been kind of carved into the metal, or burnt into the metal, I should say. Definitely goes along with the look of this quite well. Next, we've got ourselves a locker, and this one is going along with the theme of the sound update, of course, because this whole thing just looks like an old stereo cabinet with speakers wedged into it, even with the stereo components down here. So you gotta love that. And if you head on over to the side, there's various things, little posters and stuff to enjoy and look at. And the back, it doesn't really have too much going on with it. Posters match on each side. Next, we got ourselves a little rug, and this one looks like a fishnet. I definitely love the idea of this. A few of the items maybe look a little too, flat for being 3D, but I think overall they did a really good job with it. It looks really cool, and I can see a lot of people wanting to decorate with this, so that could definitely be one that would be popular, but kind of an oddity. Oddity. Wow, I can't talk today. Next, we've got ourselves a couple of vending machines. Starting out with this one right here is the Toxic Vending Machine. Everyone loves this set because it has a nice green glow, and this is a nice continuation with it. It's got this green neon bar at the top, some toxic stuff spraying all over. I don't know if you want to really reach in there to get your stuff, guys. One way or another, not even sure what this is even selling. Look at the labels are gone. But yeah, definitely very cool. And of course, it has some glow back here, which it's made to look like a safe, and a big old danger sign under that neon green. Circling back over around here, we've got another vending machine, and this one's focused a little bit more on love. This is the After Party vending machine, and I think you can probably guess the kind of stuff this might vend. Also, press for help, that's kind of an odd one. But there you go. Take a look at that. Loot here in the back. And there you have it. Next, we've got a continuation in this beautiful Outer Planet set with the Outer Planet single sheet metal door. And yeah, this one's just really nice. It's got the same rainbow effect as the one that got accepted. Also, sorry about showing the wrong one last week, guys. That was my bad. I didn't realize Hulk picked the rainbow one. So this time we're going to show the rainbow one, because if he would pick it, I'm assuming he would go with the same color, right? There we go. Next, we've got a double door. This one, it looks like it's straight up welded together out of pieces of the Bradley, and it is therefore named the Makeshift Bradley Door by Ted. And yeah, it just looks really well done. All those Bradley pieces and just like really rudimentally welded together to make the doors. It's definitely something that's one of those things that fits into the world, which is always nice. Next, we've got two doors for you. One, we've got one more disco door for you. This one just straight up looks like the floor. So, hey, if you wanted to make the entire room glow like disco, you could just make a bunch of door frames and put this then. So, hey, maybe that will happen. Never know. Definitely another nice disco edition. And last but not least, we've got a new addition in the Ice Dragon Horn set with the Ice Dragon Horn garage door. You look at that mean dragon. Ah. And of course, there's glow, so we'll have to go ahead and show you guys that. Let's start on this end and work our way back like last time. So there's that dragon horn. Beautiful. Some disco light. There's that Outer Planet store. We've got our vending machines. Cruise on back behind it. This one doesn't have much going on. Just a little bit of glow coming from the top. Back here, there's that glow, like we said. And on the side a bit. And of course the front, quite well. Then if we head on down here, we've got this box for you. Take a nice spin around. And, hey, there's a little bit of glow on this one too. As you can see, we've got the sun and the hearts glow on it. And lastly, but not least, the furnace. Zoom out a bit there for you. Look at that glow. Definitely very cool. Alright, let's jump into tools and weapons, and we've got a remake of a Littlehammer here. And of course, with the voice props DLC, this one just definitely made sense. This is the Hammer FM, and yeah, this is a version 2. And this one actually does have a glow, so we'll be sure to show that at the end as well. Next, we've got a crazy little hammer for you. This one is the Mad Chicken hammer. And yeah, he looks pretty angry, I have to say, so that's why it's angry. Definitely very crazy. It looks like he even has like a disco handle. I don't even know what's going on here. It's just crazy and ridiculous. Next, we got some rocks for you, and this one right here is quite unique. It's the hybrid rock, and as you can see, it is 3 different materials put together into one rock to beat them all. There you go. Definitely really cool design. Next, we've got another rock, and this one is the emerald rock. And yeah, there you go. It is a nice, bright, shiny emerald. There is a glowing and a non-glowing version, so stick till the end to see the glow. Then we've got a disco rock for you. This one here is the Rock Disco by Splatter Sponge. So there you have it. Definitely very shiny and rainbowy, and it does have a glowing version as well. Then we've got one more disco ball for you. This one is a little more beat up. This is the Rock Disco Ball by Freddy. And, whoops, wrong button there. Yeah, definitely another cool disco rock for sure. Next, we've got an Eoka. It is the fish Eoka. Yes, everyone loves this hilarious set, so it definitely makes sense to see an Eoka. It's kind of derpy, and it just fits and works with it. You know what I mean? It just looks great as one. Go ahead and fire that off, do a little reload, and yeah, there it is, the fish Eoka. Next, we've got another python for you, and this one is a little more rusty and beat up. This is the black bow python. And yeah, definitely looks kind of rusted and used, but has a kind of sleek design to it. Go ahead and aiming down the sights. Same thing, kind of just a worn sight, but it's white enough against the darker background there to kind of stand out. Fire it off and pop a reload for you. Next, we've got a couple saps for you, starting out with this one. The other week here, we got the comics set first acceptance, so here is another one in it with the comics sap. Definitely a very cool design. Love the little pow pow, and there's even a little smiley face to stare back at you there when you're aiming down the sights. Next, we've got another sap for you, and this one is more of like a color fade. This is the Rose Scent Pistol, and yeah, it definitely has that kind of like rose color tint to it, which is quite neat. That fade is quite awesome, and the grip has a cool look to it as well. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a little bit of that rose tint against the black as you aim, and a nice little design, because a lot of people always forget the back of the sap. There's a lot of space there to work with. Next up, we've got a continuation in the mirror set with the Shattered Mirror SAR version 2. This one is stockless, and it's seen some updates to the design, and yeah, if you just aim down the sides here, you've kind of got that iron against the metallic shine. Go ahead and pop a reload. You've got that kind of space fabric going on there. There you go. Next, we've got another SAR for you, and this one here looks like it's all pieced together. This is the Pipes SAR, and yeah, if you look, it actually looks like it's a bunch of cut pipes put together to weld the body, and more pipes for the parts that you need for the barrel, and there's even pipes on the mag. There's just everything. There's pipes, pipes, pipes. So of course, this is the Pipe SAR. Go ahead and do a reload, and there we have it. Next up, we've got a couple Thompsons for you, starting out with this one right here. This is the Justice Thompson, and yeah, as you can see, it has a bunch of different things on it, and ripped eye and so forth. I'm not really sure. Justice, that's interpretive. But aiming down the sides here, it says die and rip one more time. Go ahead and pop a reload for you there. Next, we've got another Thompson. This one's quite bright and shiny. This one is the Acid Gun by Zuff, and yeah, you can see that for sure. I like that the whole mag is actually a warning label. That's pretty cool. Aiming down the sides here, you've got some green on green, and kind of a custom little black screw back there. Next, we've got a crazy Thompson. Look at this one. This is the Yummy Tommy, or Tommy Yummy, I guess. I'm not sure which one they wanted to call it. One way or another, this thing is absolutely crazy looking. Look at that. It's just insane. And it comes in glowing and non-glowing version. I don't know why you'd want something to glow this much, because it would give you away, but it is really cool looking. So we'll be sure to show that glow, of course. Definitely a very unique Thompson skin. Next, we've got one more for you, and this one is all jaded up. And, well, that makes sense, because, well, it is not... That doesn't make sense, because it is the Emerald Thompson. So those are emeralds. So this is an emerald shard look to it, with some gold highlights there. Or bronze, maybe? It kind of looks more bronzy to me. Go ahead and aim down the sights there. And there we got it. Next, we've got a custom for you, and this one is a continuation in the Desert Hunter set by Call Me Tommy. And, yeah, it got the same thing. It's got some teeth and an eye back there, and some nice desert camo. Old World War II kind of vibes. I can't speak today. Aiming down the sights, it's a shame they didn't really do much of anything here other than color it. Again, a huge space to use, nothing really done with it. And we'll go ahead and pop a reload there. Last in this group, we've got an MP5 for you, and this one is all sorts of digital camo. This is the green Pix MP5, and yeah, I think you see why, because it's all pixelated and it's green. I mean, makes sense, right? Definitely love how the you know, pixels shift from the plastic or polymer kind of parts of the grip and the stock versus the metallic parts. That kind of reverses. It's just a little something that makes it look much more unique. Aiming down the sights, you've got a green tip to help you focus in. Next, we've got a couple AKs for you, starting out with this one right here. This is the Crystal Clear AK by Dio. And yeah, it's got this really kind of cool thing where it's got this glass that's kind of broken, and through the glass you can kind of see the so-called parts of the AK inside, which I thought was a really, really unique design. And the rest of it's kind of just like the regular AK, but kind of spiffed up, so to say. You can even see the bullets through the bottom right there, which I thought was neat. And, you know, they changed up the wood and added some little designs here and there. It's definitely a really nice design. Aiming down the sights here, you got a red tip to help you focus in on the heads. And we did a reload, but hey, we're going to do another one. Then we've got a Disco AK. Check this thing out. This is absolutely awesome. It's got notes, it's got a disco ball, it's got lights, it's got all sorts of everything. Disco floor. Definitely really awesome. Aiming down the sights, there's one more disco ball, some more floor, and a red tip. Next, we've got an LR for you, and this one is also kind of got like a plasticky kind of idea going on. This is the LR prototype, and yeah, it's got some like plastic-ish made up parts to make it kind of look like you can see in there, which is quite cool. You can see kind of, you know, the trigger, and then you've also got, you know, where you can switch the auto, semi-auto, etc. And then you also can see into the actual clip there, which is quite cool. Aiming down the sights, you've got a nice red circle and tip against the kind of grayish matted black there. Next, we've got a continuation in the lightweight set with the lightweight LR, and this thing actually does look lightweight. They did such a good job to make this thing look like it is really just kind of like a light metal, and oh man, it's definitely an amazing sculpting job. Aiming down the sights here, you've got kind of like a dark gray against the bright silver, so there is some nice contrast. And man, look at that. I mean, there's been a lot of carving done on this, and it's really hard to cut pieces out of the guns and still make it look right. And I think they've done a really absolute good job. Next, we've got another LR, and it is the Porcelain LR version 2. And it has seen some updates to the artwork and design. I really like the darker kind of blue on the porcelain for the grips. And then, yeah, you've got the little LR guy aiming down a field right there. Battle scene going on in the background. Aiming down the sights here. Nice blue tip and ring to go against that beautiful gold. Definitely a nice upgrade to this design. Then we've got the Bombing LR. And yeah, I'm sure this is something a lot of you guys have been waiting for. And you've got big old LR300 on the side there, and a bunch of the regular graffiti, as you would expect. You know, peace sign, and bomb, and bombing, and you've got all sorts of that written out there. Loot or die. You've got kind of a worn silver ring with the tip there. There we go. And really last, we just have 2 L9s, so I'm just going to go ahead and drag them here. Pull them out, and the first one here, hello. You gonna load in for me? There it is the Obsidian L96. It's definitely translated on here. Beautiful. Neville did a great job. Definitely a very beautiful looking L9 for sure. Oops, wrong button there. Meant to do this. And last but not least, we've got one more L9 for you, and this one is a beautifully carved hunting rifle, brought to you by Bad Trip, and you can see there's some elk and deer there on the side. Definitely looks like a hand-carved, beautiful design by somebody who really loves their rifle and some hunting. But that's going to do it, guys, so sound off down in the comments section below which ones you want to see make it in the most and why. I'll try to get that feedback to the right people as always. Thanks for watching. Stay rusty and work on those Twitch drops. Remember, there's going to be 2 rounds this month, so be sure you don't miss them, and we'll see you next time.